ESTHIBALIZ Rojas. First of all, I love your name. Did I say that right?
Yes, it's fine. It's ESTHIBALIZ Rojas, like that.
Okay, whatever. It sounds really nice when you say it, of course. Tell us a little bit where you're from and tell us a little bit about your musical and singing background.
Okay, I'm from Mexico City. I'm born here, so I'm just Mexican. I started singing when I was a little kid. I remember when I was at school and the chorals and that stuff. But I started taking lessons like about I was 14 or 15 years old. So now I'm 33. So I have a classical education like opera. And I started singing rock cover bands like at the same time I was at school in the classical school. So I started looking for other sounds, and just by imitating the rock vocals, I started like finding that it wasn't the same
color.
Technique.
Okay.
Like by singing rock or singing opera, and I was just imitating rock voices, and then I found IVT, speech level singing. They teach their thing.
Oh, speech level singing, yes.
I started finding there some other resonating space, and like it wasn't in the head, but I wasn't there too long. I have been like, how do you
teaching yourself, you're talking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, by listening, by looking some people like you, Freya, and I started singing and looking for the new technique, for the new sound, and then I started this information with what's belt, what's speechless singing, what's chest voice, and well, that started long ago. So I have been looking for this complete sound since, I don't know, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know. And I encounter that all the time, that a lot of singers, especially female singers,
yes,
if they have been previously classically trained, that it is very hard to cross over, just because a lot of times you're only taught head voice, and it's really hard to really find your chest voice. And then especially if you want to belt out a little higher in chest voice, it gets really difficult.
Yes.
So, okay. What would you like? What do you think is your greatest asset right now that you need to, or your issue that you want to work on, that you feel that is really hindering you from just getting to the level that you want to get to?
Okay, I think it's really to expand my belting, because I have been working on that, and I'm not really conscious about if I am doing it like it has to be. I don't. Sometimes I do it more nasal. Sometimes I feel like I'm mixing, and I am feeling it more high in head voice. Sometimes I just feel like chest voice, and I'm not sure if I am doing it like it has to be, like belt, the real belt. I don't know what really is.
Okay, so what I would like to do now is just to do a few exercises, just to kind of, first of all, start in chest voice, because what I always say, the belting is really kind of an extension of the chest voice. It is definitely not head voice. And the mixed voice is kind of something, I explain it, it's not really mixed or anything. You don't really mix registers. You can't mix registers, really. I mean, you're either in one or in the other, or you do it in a way to where there's not so much tight closure, and that way you're not really in that very closed up position that is that one register. You notice that whenever you're singing really loud head voice, and then you try to transition into really loud chest voice, then the break is very obvious and very harsh. So whenever you go like, so if I really transition, it's very harsh. So the lighter you can stay on either side of the registers, the less harsh the break will be. And that's what I describe as the area where you can actually do mixed register. Is that area where the passaggio is? That's where you could do quote unquote mixed register, but it's more on the light side. So it doesn't really feel like all the way head voice, and it doesn't feel like all the way chest voice. That's why we feel it like mixed. It's mixed up, but it's really kind of a light way of singing. What I want to do now, first of all, is explore your chest voice and then maybe your head voice just a little bit, and then see how we can put this together, because the transition is usually the hard part about the whole thing.
Yes.
So let's do this. Ma 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 ma. Just simple chest voice.
Yes. Ma 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 ma.
So, okay, what I already hear is that it's not very chesty and meaty. It's kind of a little bit thinner, and it almost goes into head voice. So what happens, and this goes back to speech level singing, and I think it's very helpful to find the beginnings of everything. So if you were going to say, ma, 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 don't think about singing, just very simple. And a lot of times singing is so much simpler than we think it is. So why don't you do that? Go like, ma, 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 ma.
Ma, 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 ma.
Exactly. And now try to do that. I mean, that was pretty loud now, so you could even do that a little less loud, but just go ahead and do it full out now, and do it the same way. Ma, 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 ma. And don't think about trying to sound very beautiful. Try to sound actually very simple. Don't think about singing so much.
Ma, 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 ma.
Yes, that was a lot more chesty, and it had more meat in the voice. So that is chest voice. So we're going to go up and see what happens once we get to a level where it gets a little harder for chestiness, right?
Ma, 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 ma.
Okay, you may want to back up just a little bit from the mic when you get louder.
I'm sorry. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma.
Okay, it gets really hard here. Let's do one more.
Ma, 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 ma.
Okay, so what I hear now is that you're starting to get a little bit hoarse on the top. It gets a little rough.
Yes.
And it's because you're being very loud right now. Okay. And also you're not having any dynamics. You're really pushing hard against the vocal cords right now. Basically, though, it's really important to kind of have that basic feeling of what it feels like to be really chesty, to be in chesty voice. So that you did it right, except we need to take it back a notch now and have a little bit more control. Otherwise, if you do it like this for a long period of time, you're going to get hoarse. So what I want you to do now, always in my exercises, I want you to be musical. It's not just an exercise to sing pitches, but also to apply musical principles, which I think it's always, usually whenever we sing popular music, it takes place in a way that when you sing lower, it's a little bit more on the relaxed side. And then when you get higher, it's a little bit more energetic. It's much like when you're talking, okay, I'm very relaxed now. I'm not so relaxed, and I'm totally unrelaxed now. So it's like when you speak, you do it the same way. It's like automatically, when you get higher, you get a little louder. But the most important thing now is when you do get higher, don't get so loud to where you get, that roughness in your throat, because that means you're leaning against your vocal cords a lot. What will help when you go up is really think about your support and actually think less pushing. So let me show you what I mean. So when I'm pushing a lot, it's like ma 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 ma. It's just very loud. If I don't push that much, Ma, 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 ma. I don't quite have to get that loud. Okay, let's try that.
Ma, 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 ma.
Okay, now we're almost into this headiness again.
Yes.
Try when you start with a bottom pitch, try not to be so loud yet. Try to be in a more talkative mode, like, ma, 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 here I would talk. Today's a very beautiful day. Hello, hello, hello. It would feel more like this. The top pitch would be a little bit louder. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this? Speak something on the bottom pitch. Just go like, today is a very beautiful day.
Today is a beautiful day. Today.
Or relaxed. It's too loud now. Today is a very beautiful day. I'm just talking on one pitch, but I'm basically only talking. I'm not singing.
Okay, I'm talking. I'm not singing. I don't think if I am doing okay, but I'm still speaking.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you sing too much, you get on autopilot, and then your voice just does what it's used to, which is head voice a lot. So, but now to feel the difference,
Yes.
like, today is a very beautiful day, and then I go up here, today is a very beautiful day, and I'm speaking pretty much, but I'm very excited here. I'm not singing it, but I'm excited. Do that.
Okay. Today it's a very beautiful day. Today.
Stop. That was the bottom one was very heady again. Oh, very sung, very simple. Even simpler.
Today is a very beautiful day. Today is a very beautiful day.
Too much sung again. Go like, today, hello, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, hello. Hey, I'm not sure if I'm doing well.
Why don't we do this? Do this. Do the hello. To go like, hello, as if you were just calling someone.
Hello.
Yeah, the top one was good, except you don't even have to be quite as loud. Hello. Yes. Okay. It was in chest voice now. It wasn't mix and it wasn't head. Before it was kind of like in the mixed.
Yes.
And that's when you get in, you slide into head voice so easily then.
Yes.
And that's when, that's when the sound, when you want to sound more like rock or pop, that's when you feel like it's not quite right, the sound, when it gets too mixy and too heady.
Yes.
So let's try to put this together again. Let's try to go ma, also ma, 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 ma. Do a crescendo, which means getting louder to the top, and then come back and relax again when you go down to the pitch.
Okay. Ma, 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 ma.
Even more dynamic changes. It'll really help you. On the bottom, more relaxed, like I'm talking now and I don't have to be that loud yet, but here I have more energy. Ma, 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 and then relax again.
Ma, 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 ma.
You're sliding into the mixed again. We're gonna have to do some more talking on one pitch thing here. Did you ever notice, like, whenever you speak, there's tons of pitches. You go up and down, but when you sing, you basically do it the same way as if you were speaking, except everything happens slower. You stay on one pitch so much longer. So what I want you to do now, let's use that again. Today is a very beautiful day, but just do it in extremely slow motion. Today is a very beautiful day. Don't think about singing.
Today is a very beautiful day.
Okay, now let's expand the range of that just a little bit and the dynamics.
Okay.
So let's just pretend you're going through some different emotions while you're doing that. Let's just, when you just go low and go high, and when you go low, think of relaxed talking to me, and then when you go higher, you get more excited, like so. Today is a very beautiful day. So take it very slow.
Okay. Today is a very beautiful day.
Okay, the end was great. The beginning was too much. You could have started just a little bit more relaxed. And what's really, really, really important, if you do want to belt and if you want to sing any repertoire that's like rock or high energy, it is so important that you give yourself those islands of relaxing in between. Otherwise, when you always have the same pressure on your vocal cords throughout the song, you can't really make it. I mean, it's a lot of work for your vocal cords to be constantly on maximum.
Yes.
So you want to, especially when you're like really belting up high, you want to try to always give yourself those relaxing points, which will also help you again on the top with really having the strength and also the right placement. I think it makes it so much easier to have the right placement when you don't hold it for a very long time, but maybe more, in moving around. Like so. Let's do this. Let's do it from an A. Let's do an octave slide. We start on the bottom, on a ooh, ah, open up to the top and then go down. Also, very soft on the bottom, very relaxed, and then crescendoing to the top, like so. The slower you can go up and down and very slowly slide up and down, the more you're going to be aware of what happens. But did you notice how you went through this whole range of dynamics? You also can feel the vocal cords kind of getting a little bit more tight as you go up and then relaxing again a little bit as you go down.
Yes,
very good.
It doesn't feel like hurting. It's not hurting.
Yeah, it's always a little bit easier when you get there a little bit slower. Okay, let's do one more. Let's try to see how far we can go up. And always keep in mind on the top, don't get to 100%, maybe 95%. Okay, we need to do that one more time. That was not quite as chesty. We went kind of a little bit back into the mixed here.
Okay.
Try to start again very relaxed and then very slowly think of that. I always do this wow. 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 As if you were saying wow.
I do the you.
Yes, do that.
Yes,
again.
Okay.
Yes, much better. And also don't be afraid when you go down. Relax. It's okay to be a little bit breathy when you go down and relax.
Okay.
Wow, that is totally okay.
Okay.
We don't need much here. We want this huge range of different motions here. Think of your vocal cords like a rubber band. You want it to be elastic, and the more you move it, the less it's going to be worn out just because it stays elastic. When you pull on it the whole time, it's going to snap at one point, so you don't want it to snap. You want it to be always pliable and in motion. Okay, let's try one more. Do it one more time, and now try to have the feeling of that wow, but 95%, not 100% loud.
Yes.
And deep breath.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's do one more experiment.
Yes.
Let's do a sigh from the top to the bottom. The goal here is, normally it works, that you're not going to hear any break.
Yes.
And that's because you're staying very light. So when you go, there's no break in my voice there because I'm staying very light. So try to sigh very slowly from the top to the bottom. Okay, good. So let's do this now.
Yes.
Start the same way. And then when you go down, get a little louder so you're more in chest voice. So it's more like, ah, but only when you go pretty low. Otherwise, there will be a break.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of like the principle of you need to utilize that just a little bit in order to deal with that break sometimes. So it's very hard when you come from this very heady, tight head voice, oh, and then it jumps. It
Yes.
kind of flips over, and it makes its way so it can get into chest voice. So this passaggio, this is where you can do the mix, and the mix is really kind of like when you're not very tight in head voice. So let's do like a scale.
Yes.
La 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 la. And let's land in chest voice, but not very loud chest voice, a little bit more relaxed. Wow, you actually got that low. That's craziness. You can actually go to the C below that. That's like C3. That's very low.
Okay.
You can get really low. That's cool. I wish I could. I can't.
Oh, Freya. No.
No, it's like, I mean, on the bottom, that's just, there's not too much you can do on the bottom. You can
think
do the top.
I think it's because I'm a more between dramatic and lyric soprano.
Yes. But even then, it's like, yeah, your voice color is darker. So that's why you should work on the lower end quite a bit too, and not just concentrate on the high soprano stuff.
Yes.
Let's do it once more. And the most important thing too is now that on the top, even while it is kind of in head voice now, the top, it's high. You don't want to be operatic. You don't want to go, but a little bit more narrow in your throat. Don't have this huge opening. A little bit more narrow. And then the break is not that much. Okay?
Yes.
Actually, I just wanted you to do one octave.
Okay, I'm sorry.
2 octaves. Just for the next.
Okay.
Yeah, just do 1 octave because I want you to stop on the bottom there. That
Okay.
la 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 la. Now I'm chest voice, but I'm not this much in chest voice, and I'm not here and not there, but here and there, here and there. So the break is not so much there. Okay, stop there. Good. Let's do one more. And the position of your head voice. There's many nuances you can. I talked recently about that on my podcast, and because it's so prevalent in all female singers that a lot of them have the same problem as you are having. That it's really hard to like, am I actually in chest voice? Am I in head voice? Or what am I in? Is this mixed voice now, or is it actually chest voice still? It's very hard to distinguish and then to really get into the sound that you want to get. And so it's very important to know the different positions of head voice that are possible, and also the different placements of the chest voice. You can either la or la, or kind of in between la. You can be breathy or non-breathy. I mean, there's so many nuances you can sing it in that will help you to transition into the other register a little bit better when you do it slightly different. And then again, in chest voice, even when you go like this, la, you can either go like, larynx down, la, or very narrow, la, And there's many different positions you can be in that will always help you just a little bit to direct it into where you want to go next. So let's do this one more time, what we just did. Okay, well, now it was kind of harsh. The last one was very loud. What I want to hear is, I don't want to hear a big difference in your voice color the whole time. I want you to stay quite even. So not, too breathy, and then there. So even it out just a little bit by just changing those placements a little bit. I want to hear one voice and not two different people singing.
Yes.
Okay, now you were very sweet and very childish a little bit. Okay. Yeah, but that's the right principle. You can now darken it up just a little bit towards your natural color. Yes. But what I'm saying is just like, it's so important to be aware of little nuances that will really help you connect the two registers a little bit better. And before you start belting out really high and getting your chest voice trained, which it's very much a matter of training, to where you can do it higher. It just does. Before that, I think it's very useful if you just really are aware of that break and you bridge that gap a little bit by not sounding like two different people when you're singing in chest voice and singing in head voice. Because you don't want to sound like an opera singer when you sing in head voice, and then all of a sudden in that same song, you're transitioning into chest voice and you sound like a different person. That's usually the problem that you come across. You either want to sing something classically or not. But usually both things within one song, it's kind of strange because all of a sudden you think like, oh, there's a different person singing now. Yes. Okay, try this one more time in your voice color, but back off. Don't sit on the vocal cords too much. Yes. Okay, can you hold that last one just a little bit more so I can hear where you're in? Do it one more time. You're a little flat. Okay. Today's a very beautiful day. Do that. Say that. Today's a very beautiful day.
Today's a very beautiful day. Today's a very beautiful day.
Yeah, that's the way I want it to sound when you get there. And then on every pitch, you can test yourself actually. Oh, today's a very beautiful day. Would I sound like this? Okay, you would never speak like that, but it's like, hello, today's a very beautiful day.
Today's a very beautiful day.
Would you speak like this?
Today's a very beautiful day.
Today's a very beautiful day.
Today is a very beautiful day.
I think you're too much in head voice now. You can back off just a little bit. Let this up just a little bit here in your throat to where you're not too far open in the back, but more like this.
Today is a very beautiful day.
You're still very much in head voice, but think more chest voice, but kind of light.
Okay. Today is a very beautiful day.
Yeah, back off just even more. Don't look for so much in the tone. No. Just don't be afraid to be even a little breathy or something like, today's a very beautiful day.
Today's a very beautiful day.
Okay, that was more like a speaking voice now, and it wasn't really breathy too much.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, you can test yourself always. I do that all the time when I'm trying out something, and I'm always trying to find new exercises that can help me get where I need to go, and I'm trying what works best. Sometimes it works best to start on the top, and sometimes it's easier to start on the bottom. Sometimes it's easier to do short pitches, and sometimes it's easier to do long pitches to feel what's happening in my vocal cords. Now, what I want to do now is let's do one more thing. Let's try to see what that feels like when you take the chest voice just a little bit higher, but also kind of a meaty chest voice. Okay, let's do one exercise first before we do that. Okay, what I want you to do now is to get really upset and mad.
Okay.
Just imagine you just worked for 5 hours on your computer and it freezes up and everything is lost.
Okay. Yes.
So you're extremely upset, and all you want to do is just you want to just yell and throw the thing out the window, right?
Yes.
Of course, we're not going to do that.
No.
But what I want you to do now is, first of all, deep breath. Second of all, rock hard support. I mean, what happens when you get really, your body really gets stiff, and your midsection, you get really hard. So good breath, rock hard support, and then don't think loud, think very intense, and then go like this. Man! I mean, like, do it for a long time, but as if you were like, oh my God, something just terrible happened. But don't think very loud. Just think a high pitch. I mean, don't think a pitch. Just think when you're yelling, like, oh man! Usually that will be a high pitch when you're really upset. Have you ever tried to be upset and go low? It's like, oh man! That doesn't work.
No.
Man! I mean, that's my pitch. Don't take my pitch. That's just coincidentally the pitch that comes out when I do something like that.
Okay.
Deep breath, good support. You know, you can even take your fists just to kind of get the feeling of that your body is in tension, and then hold it. And you shouldn't feel any roughness. Then if you're feeling roughness, pushing too much against the vocal cords, then try to back off just a little bit as far as the loudness goes. Okay, try it. Okay, I think you could have backed off just a little bit more. It was just on the edge of being very rough. Okay. And that's just a little bit too much pushing against the vocal cords. So take the volume down just a little bit. That's very hard. Have you ever tried to be like loud and not be loud? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You want to be, but you're having to keep it in.
Okay.
If there's the slightest bit of hoarseness or roughness, then it's a sign that you're just pushing a little too much. It needs to be very clear and clean, and it shouldn't feel that it's scratching in your throat, because then you're pushing too much. Take it back even more, which means more support, more push the air out more from the bottom, but don't let as much air through. Just let this tiny bit of air through your vocal cords. It's almost like sucking the air in. Okay.
Hey!
Yes, and the less loud you can do it, the better it is for your vocal cords, and the better you get the feeling for actually belting it out. Because the secret for actually getting higher and really belting it out is not to think chest voice anymore, to take it back. Gotta take it back. Take it back. But still think, not head voice, but take the chest voice back. Take it back. The higher you get, because the opening between your vocal cords, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller because your vocal cords get tighter and tighter and tighter. And then when you push too much, it kind of breaks, and then it gets this roughness. So when you do something like that, na 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 na, just try to touch that top pitch just slightly. Don't think loud, but very small opening. Let's do this.
Na 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 na.
Yes, and don't make much of the top. Very quick.
Na 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 na.
You weren't quite up. Na 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 na. Not loud. Na na. Hardly touch that pitch.
Okay. Na 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 na.
Yes, and it works so much better when you don't blast it out loud, but when you try to control it and take it back even further. So yeah, it helps me also to kind of like na 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 na.
Yes.
Just kind of think like that, because what it does, it's a nasal sound. You absolutely have to have good space, and you have to really make your support really hard in order to get the out, and that'll help you on the ah. So let's do this one more time. Yeah. Na, 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 let's do actually like this. Na 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 na.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Yes, and now again, take it back even more. Na 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 na.
Na 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 na. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Na 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 na. Yes.
Okay, and then when you go down, don't think pretty singing. Na 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 na, and relax again. We're in this very relaxed talking mode again.
Yes.
So you want to na 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 na. You don't want to.
No, I don't.
No. Okay, one more time.
Yes. Na 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 na.
Yes, just be careful that you don't like when you go to the bottom now, too bright and too heady now. It's always like you don't ever want anybody to think that you're trying too hard. And whenever you're over singing, you know what I'm talking about? Over singing,
Yes.
it comes across as you're trying too hard. And nobody likes a singer who's trying too hard. Like way too much vibrato and way too much trying to sound, the last note always gets so long and sung out. I don't know. I never liked it. It's because it gives me the impression that that singer is trying real hard to impress me or something, but it should be more natural. Well, I think it's like singing is always like, okay, you're telling a story, but you just happen to be singing it. But I need to forget that you're singing it while you're singing it.
Completely.
It's the story, and then it's kind of in a natural voice. And technically you are singing it, but it's more like, oh, wow, I'm just hearing this great story. So let's do one more time this here. Let's actually start on the top. Go na 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 na. Let's try to really get that top.
Yes. Na 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 na.
And then now when you go down, relax. Na 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 na. I'm relaxed now.
Okay now. Na 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 na.
Okay. And to test yourself, you can, today's a very beautiful day. This is how I would talk.
Today is a very beautiful day. Yes, I think I get it.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. That was like a C sharp and a D. That's pretty good. Most repertoire can be sung with that. I mean, there's not a lot of repertoire that goes really a lot higher. Ballads or power ballads can be sung with that.
Can you help me with a phrase? I would love to not sound in head voice in one of my
Yes,
songs.
sure.
I have a phrase. It's like, the fire rises, remember crying, the air tremble. But I don't want it to sound like this, right? The air tremble, remember crying.
Are you sure that's exactly the key that it's in?
Yes.
Okay.
The air tremble, remember crying.
Okay, so you have perfect pitch.
No, but I have the song really clear, so I know. Remember crying, the air tremble, remember crying. That's a pitch.
Okay. So what I noticed is that, how do you want to sing it? It's very high. So I don't know if you can do it not in head voice, the top, because it's a D sharp.
Remember crying. That's a note.
So how do you want the whole song to sound? Do you want it to sound head
Well,
voice?
the song has different parts, but I that part to sound more belty or more mixed, maybe with more mixed voice.
Okay.
But I don't want it to sound remember crying.
Okay, I think what's really important here is that I think it's okay to sing the top in head voice because it is very high, and at that high of a note, it's really hard to distinguish if it is chest voice or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, in your voice, it sounds strong and it sounds fine, but I think what you can work on is actually all the other pitches. I think all the other pitches could be not in head voice. And I think it would sound more like you would want it to, more kind of chesty. And try to sing the whole first part, everything except the top note. Try to sing that in chest voice.
Okay. The fire,
not in chest voice. The fire.
The fire. The fire. Okay. The fire rises.
And let's see what comes after that, because after that it doesn't go back right to that very low note, but it kind of goes down slowly. Sing that whole phrase again.
The fire rises. Remember crying.
Yeah. Remember crying, but crying. I would not sing that in chest, in head voice. I would sing that more in chest voice.
The fire rises. Remember crying.
You're not getting into chest voice, right? I only got 8% of my thing left here.
Remember crying. I can't. I don't.
Well, yes, if you probably have to practice it first to go very harshly into chest voice, so you're not slipping into head voice. Remember crying. I mean, if you have to be a little darker just to find it, to practice, that's fine. Try to practice that transition. Remember crying, and really meaty. So you're not into head voice, because otherwise, remember crying sounds too classical. I want to be more here.
Okay. Remember crying.
Yes, I think that is so much better and has so much power. I mean, the top is totally fine, I think, if you do it in really head voice. So I hope I could help you just a little bit today.
No, a lot.
Okay, awesome.
A lot, Freya. A lot.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing for this call here.
No,
and
thank you.
I'm going to see you in the masterclass, of course.
Yes.
And I hope we'll have time. I think Wednesday is going to be the best one. I'm going to post it. I think Wednesday is when almost everybody can make it. So.
Yes, okay, that's fine. Thank you, Freya. Thank you always.
Oh, thank you. And then what you can do is you can probably email me